Hi everyone, welcome back to the Workplace Apprenticeship 10 course. This is lesson 1.2, and in this lesson we're going to be looking at example number 1, and we're going to be focusing on the unit price. So just as a quick recap, the unit price is essentially how much one item costs. So say for example if we were going to Superstore and they have a 24-pack of toilet paper on sale for $18. When you ask yourself, well, how much does one roll of toilet paper cost? Well, that right there is looking at the unit price. So here is example number 1 from your notes. Rosa buys supplies for the Hamlet office in Arviat, Nunavut, where she works as a clerk. She wants to buy pens. The supplier sells a box of 12 pens for $6.25. What we're asked to do here is to calculate the unit price of one pen. So following along with the technique that I taught you in last video, we're just going to underline what exactly we need to do. So here we're going to calculate the unit price of one pen. And then we can go back and reread. We know what we want to do. Now go back and cross out some of that unessential or unimportant information. So once again, starting with your first sentence. Rosa buys supplies for the Hamlet office in Arviat, Nunavut, where she works as a clerk. Now that sentence right there doesn't actually tell you any information in terms of your unit price. It just kind of sets up the situation so you know where she's working and know what she's doing and why she might be buying those pens. So because it doesn't actually have anything to do with the unit price, let's actually cross that one out. Look at our next sentence. She wants to buy pens. And I'll just recross that one out. And we'll cross this one out here too. Alright, so next sentence. The supplier sells a box of 12 pens for $6.25. So the supplier sells a box of 12 pens for $6.25. And what we're doing is we're calculating the unit price. So when we're looking at the unit price and comparing products, this here we're comparing the number of pens to the number of dollars that it costs. So if you notice that keyword is comparing, and if you remember from last video, I really emphasized that comparing means a rate or it is proportional reasoning. So once again, we're going to be setting up two fractions that are equal to one another, and we're going to fill in what we know. So in our first sentence here, it says the supplier sells a box of 12 pens for $6.25. Now, if you're trying to figure out, well, which unit goes on the top, which one goes on the bottom, typically when we're talking about unit price, the dollar amount always goes in the numerator or the top of your fraction, whereas the item goes in the bottom. So we're going to write $sign and then 6.25, and then that was for 12 pens. So we'll go 12 pens. Looking at our next statement, it says calculate the unit price of one pen. So here we know we have one pen, but we don't know the cost. So just like always, we want to make sure we line up our units. So if pens are on the bottom in your first fraction, pens have to be in the bottom of your second fraction. So we're looking for the cost of one pen, and we can leave that as X. And if it makes your brain happy, you can also put a dollar symbol there so you have your units there. But essentially, the big end goal here is to solve for X. Now, just like what we've done before, we're going to be solving all of our proportional reasoning questions by using cross multiplication. So start by drawing an X with arrows on the ends. So one arrow goes from the top of your numerator in your first fraction to the denominator of your second fraction, and then the denominator of your first fraction up to the numerator of your second fraction. And what those arrows indicate are multiplication. So look at your first arrow here. We have 6.25 times 1. Look at our second fraction. We have 12 times X. Now let's simplify this left-hand side here, just to get rid of that multiplication so it's a little bit easier to solve. So 6.25 times 1 is just 6.25. And that's equal to 12x. So now what we want to do is we have everything simplified. So now we want to solve for x. And so right here, this is 12x. which means 12 times x. So if you want to get rid of multiplication, or a number that's multiplying, you have to divide. So do that opposite operation. So you're going to divide by 12 on your right side. And because this is an equal sign, it's an equation, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So you're going to divide 6.25 by 12 as well. So when you put this into your calculator, 6.25 divided by 12 will give you 0.52. And I like to go to 2 decimals for that. And that's equal to 12 divided by 12 is just 1. So we have 1x or just x. And we're not quite done this question yet because this is a word problem, so we have to answer it with a sentence. So just to refer back to here, we're finding the unit price of 1 pen. So we could say the unit price of 1 pen is, and so we have 0.52, but just don't forget, you need your units in there. And here's telling you how many dollars it is. So it's $0.52 or 52 cents. Make sure you end that off with a period, and then that is it for that question. Thank you for watching.